you. Denise Snell. And then following her will be Chris Cooper.
Hi, and I've seen all of you at the meetings except for one. I'm Denise Snelling, I'm the chairman of Palmetto Gun Rights. All of you have heard a lot of my stories, and I know I see a whole bunch of them back there. I'm going to tell you one you don't know, and I might get a little emotional because I've never told anybody this story. My brother is serving prison time for 45 years. He did not kill anybody with a gun. I'm from Chicago. We don't have guns in Chicago, us normal people anyway. My brother killed his dad with a steak knife, stabbed him 67 times. Killed his friend with a samurai sword straight to the heart. He didn't need a gun to do that. Guns do not kill people. People kill people. Amen. I'm sorry, I've never told anybody this, and you can go and look it up. It's true, I'm not making up. It's under Rockford, Illinois, 1987. He's still in prison today. He went there when he was 18 years old. He won't get out until he's 53 years old. And watch out, South Carolina. I've told him he'll live with me. But anyway, I would like to, Mr. Talbert, if you have the petitions, we have over 8,000 petitions to pass this bill. And that's just not from Columbia, that's from all around the state. I would just like you to seriously consider, I do have a CWP, I do carry. And I would just, and Senator Bright, thank you very much. Senator Martin and Senator Hembright, thank you very much for listening to all of us for the last 4 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you for having me be here today. Appreciate it. My name is Chris Cooper. I'm the Director of Federal Legislation for National Association for Gun Rights. Currently, we're at about 2 million members nationwide, tens of thousands of which reside here in South Carolina. So we've received an overwhelming amount of email and calls and written mail asking us to support this, and it didn't take very long for us to look at it and realize that.
Can't hear you.
Is that better right there?
Yeah. Better.
Okay. So we're actually in favor of this. Like the way it looks, we've seen other states that have passed this, and nothing but good stuff has happened. We've seen it in Vermont, we've seen it in Alaska, we've seen it in Arizona, we've seen ones that are very similar to it out in numerous other states. Currently, it's being proposed in about 13 other states, including the state where I'm from, which is Virginia. Historically, it has done nothing but reduce crime, as it's been known. We think this is a great step for South Carolina. And Talbert and Denise covered a majority of the issues. It does not in any way take away from your reciprocity, from your permit carry process. Here's one thing that does keep getting brought up a lot of times is that some people think that by introducing this legislation, by constitutional carry, what we're trying to get is unrestricted carry. Gun owners, like myself and like I would assume the majority of people here, we're not actually searching to infringe on people's rights. And what I mean is this, is that we don't believe we should have the right to carry anywhere. If a business or a person does not want a firearm in their home, well, that's their private property. You know, rights don't trump other rights. So the purpose of this is not that it's guns everywhere all the time. The purpose is that you can defend yourself in a myriad of situations without having to worry about being in violation or looking at a misdemeanor or a felony for this in these areas. So this is not going to stop anybody. If a number of banks and Starbucks or anything else decide, as soon as this bill passes, that they want to put up signs saying no guns inside, we'll honor that. Everybody will honor that. That's common sense. This will also help out with law enforcement. When there's a number of people here who are secure, that get training, that know how to handle their firearms, they're going to be able to respond very quickly to things that are happening around. You see it time and time again. It doesn't get reported very often, but the time that firearms are used actually in self-defense and to stop a crime happens way more often than to actually commit a crime. So this is another area where we think that local law enforcement will be helped by concerned citizens and people who are firearm owners. If anyone has any questions, I'd be willing to.
Mr. Cooper, I've got a quick question. All the testimony I've heard, most testimony I've heard, when we have areas with more carry, we have crime go down. I had someone testify to us in Myrtle Beach Monday night that crime would go up. You're national. Have you ever heard of such?
No, I haven't heard of anything where you reduce the amount of limitations that a person can carry when crime has gone up. I mean, it's difficult to say because not every state is the same. I mean, you can't necessarily compare Vermont to South Carolina or Alaska to South Carolina, so there are differences.
But based off what you've seen and the facts that you have, you would say that crime would go down under
Yeah.
something like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of states in which, let's just say, for example, domestic homicide went down to absolute zero for several years at a time where these measures were introduced.
I appreciate it. I've been waiting on the email from the person who testified, and I haven't received it. And I've got a feeling that I will not receive it because I feel like it's not true. And I appreciate it.
You brought up the issue of training. What kind of training do you advocate that we put in?
Well, at NAGR, we encourage everybody to be familiar with their firearm, to seek out training from anybody there. There's dozens and dozens of people that do concealed carry training in every locale. I've undergone concealed carry training, open carry training. I've helped assist in training.
That's what I'm talking about, open carry training.
Mhm.
What kind of open carry training do you put in here?
Well, you mean as a requirement to get this?
That's what you just said, you went through it.
Oh, yeah, I went through it voluntarily. So, I mean, but at the same time, like, I exercised my First Amendment and I took speech classes. But I don't say that everybody that goes through school should have to take a speech class, or anybody that wants to talk should have to take a speech class.
But what you did say was that people with training to assist the police. How do we know which ones, how do the police, when they're looking for assistance, know who's trained and who's not?
Well, I suppose they won't. I'm sure that person will make themselves available. I mean, we can't have law enforcement knowing everything all the time. It doesn't happen. I mean, how are they supposed to know who has the concealed carry permit anyways?
Because right now you have to show it to them if they have to.
Well, I understand. But is there anything stopping law enforcement from checking the weapon or checking the person involved? I mean, if someone were to stop a person that was looking suspicious, or there was a call saying there was someone lurking, and the police came over and stopped that person, and they had a weapon on them, wouldn't they be able to check if that person was a felon very quickly?
Well, so what do you advocate then? Let's say that somebody's walking down the street with a gun and the police stop them. That they should be able to run a background check on them, and if they find out they're not, let's put them in jail.
No, I mean, there is state law saying that are currently, and this does not circumvent it, by saying that if you are a felon, you cannot carry a weapon.
Right, but there are people that are less than felons that are prevented from owning a gun.
Well, this also doesn't circumvent mentally ill, juveniles, or anything like that either. It's saying people who are legally allowed under state law and federal law to carry firearms or possess and own firearms are then allowed to do this.
So people with CDB convictions aren't going to be able to get around the fact that they can't pass a background check for a CWP to be able to carry over.
I'm sorry, say that again, with what conviction?
People have a criminal domestic violence charge that would prevent them from getting a CWP. This is not going to allow them all of a sudden to start carrying without a CWP because they would qualify for a CWP. They just can't pass the background check. This is not going to give them an avenue to carry.
I don't know the exact code in it, but I would assume not.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time.